Hey, what's up guys? Sloth King here. Today I'm working on the Supra and I'm doing something very exciting. I'm going to be attempting to retrofit the AC system. So what that means, if you guys aren't familiar with what a retrofit is, it's converting an old Freon to a new Freon in your car. So the Supra, it was from a generation where they put R12 Freon in there, and since then it was banned in like 96. So it's mandatory that all cars move to R134A at that time. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to convert it to R134A. And there's a few steps that you need to take. It's actually not that hard. It's just a little costly if you're doing everything from scratch. And it's a little time consuming, and you gotta have some knowledge along the way. So what I've done so far, as you've guys seen, or if you haven't, throughout my whole build, I started replacing a lot of AC components. Like I put a new dryer in there, I put a new condenser in there. I'm upgrading the expansion valve, which is located inside the car where the evaporator core is. So we're gonna be swapping out the expansion valve, and to get to that, we have to take out the evaporator, which is right behind the glove box. So I don't have the glove box in there, so that's gonna be already one step further and easy to get in there. But while I'm in there, I have to replace my blower motor resistor because it only works on I think low or medium. So I'll show you that too. So I bought this new AC pump. I'll probably throw it in the description below. And what we're gonna do, since there's this R12 or retrofit kit, it comes with a bunch of different adapters, and they come with new Schrader valves. So we got to take out our Schrader valve here. This is going to be for the low side. And then on the car, right here, this is the high side. This is going to be another Schrader valve. So we got to take that out and put our new fitting on there. Just have to throw the pump in there and then run those two lines, take out the evaporator, put the new expansion valve in there, and yeah, that should be it. Now this whole thing, before I wrap up this intro, if you're replacing everything brand new, there's this PDF that I came across where Toyota recommends doing a retrofit, how they do it, how much Freon you have to add in there, and how much oil. It says 4 ounces, but since this came pre-filled with R12, I drained out most of that mineral oil that came in there, and it was like 1.9 ounces. And I'm pretty sure there's still a little bit in there, so it's probably closer to 2. I'm just going to add like 1.9 more ounces. Just to be safe. If I need to add more later on, I'll probably just put a little in there. And yeah, I'll be showing you guys how to charge everything, how to load up, how to put a vacuum on the system, which if I can get all this done today, I can do it tomorrow morning. So anyways, let's go ahead and take out these Schrader valves, put the rest of the oil in there, throw the compressor inside the car, hook up those lines, take out that expansion valve, put the new one on there, and yeah, just set our belt tension, and then we should be good. So how about I stop talking, because this is a long intro already, and let's jump right into this. All right, first thing we're going to do, we're gonna swap out the Schrader valve. So I picked up this cool little tool off Amazon. I'll have it in the link below. This will also work on valve stems and stuff like that. So we're gonna pop this thing in here. We're just gonna take it out, if it will let me. Oh, this thing's being a little pain. I don't know if you guys can see, but this end is like a little smushed. It's not good. Is that like not able to come out? Let me see if just one of these things fit on. I feel like this is the wrong kit, so I might need to go get a different one. Doesn't even say which one's the high side and which one's the low side. I assume the smaller one is the high side. Yeah, since the bigger one fits on here. Okay. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to take this off, put the oil in it, and then we can throw this in the car and then I can just find a different adapter kit afterwards. Okay, and just to explain my thoughts, the only reason why I'm taking this plate off and putting this one on that came with it is because I have to turn this thing almost 90 degrees to put it inside of the car. And if I do that with this on, there's gonna be a lot of oil that will come out. Okay, with that off. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna put in 1.9 ounces. So just for the ease of this, I'm just gonna weigh the bottle with the cap off. We're at 7. So when we're done, we're gonna be at 5.1. Well, I guess I put 2 ounces in. That is okay. Okay, the oil is out of the way. We're good with that. Wipe this off just so that there's no contaminants that get in there. Okay, so I picked up these 2 bolts that I probably won't need, and they're a little bit longer, but I can see if I need to put washers on them. Wow, I can't speak today. Yeah, I'll put like a stack of them on there. It's not ideal, but I can swap them out later since I'll probably throw them on the top. Let's try to go put a couple of these things in. All right, come on. Oh, look at that. I think it's gonna fit. Have I spoken too soon? I might have. Maybe I haven't. Okay. Oh yeah. Look at that. Sweet. Now here comes the challenge of trying to mount this up. So I think if I remember correctly, put your bolts in first. That way you can actually thread them in there or fit them in without fighting too much. Sorry if this is not getting a good shot for you guys, but you kind of get the gist of what you have to do. I hope. They're starting to go in. Yes. Okay, everything is started. I'm so glad I put that top plate on there because that would have been such a nightmare with the oil just spilling everywhere. So if you guys can remember to do that, do it. Just do it. Or wait to fill the compressor with oil until after it's in. So let me go ahead and bolt this in. I believe the torque settings on these bolts are about 18 foot-pounds. If it's not 18 foot-pounds, I'll pop it up on the screen. The thread pitch, they're M8 by 1.25. And I think they're about 75 millimeters long. Let me check that package. So these are 100, so do get like 75. And then they should be about the same length. So I'm gonna take those out, put these in, and then I'll be back. All right guys, before it gets dark, let's jump to the taking out the evaporator. So you're gonna need a few different size wrenches. On this bottom line, you're gonna need a 14 and a 17. And then on this top one, This back one is gonna be a 22, and I believe the front one's a 24, but I don't have a 24 on me. So what you can use is a adjustable wrench. Should get you by. Oh man. Let me see if I have something else that will fit on here. Oh, that sucks. All right, so I forgot, I totally grabbed this. This is saving the day right now. Now remember, whenever you tighten these, they really do not have to be on that tight. I think it's like 8 foot-pounds. That way you don't destroy the seal that's in it. Sweet, now that should be able to pull inside the car. Now hopefully I don't have to move my car. I might have to. All right, let's get inside of the car. Okay, so this spot is gonna be really tricky to film. You take out your glove box. I'm gonna probably have to take out this bar right here, which there's gonna be a screw here, which is rusted in. And then there's one over here that I took out, but I believe I have to take out this plastic piece. So I'm gonna take that out. It's just a 10mm bolt down here, and then you take out one of the screws for your kick panel, and then you just pull this whole thing out. And then next, I might have to take out my ECU since my new wiring harness is in the way. So that's just a few bolts, or screws I should say. So there's gonna be one here, and then 2 back here, I believe. Yeah, I think that's how that's set up. And then that will drop down. And then to take, this is for your Evap Core. So there's going to be a couple 10mm bolts. There's gonna be one down here that you're gonna take out. It's gonna be this one right here. There's gonna be one here, one over on that side right there, one up here, and then I think there's like a hidden one up here somewhere. And then once you take those out, this whole thing should like fall, or like you can pull it out. And that's where those lines are attached on the inside of the firewall that we already disconnected. That should pull out. And then we should be able to get to our Evap Core. And then over in here, this is where a blower fan is, right up in here. So I have to change the resistor. So I'll do that whenever I figure out where the resistor is. So I'm gonna take everything out, and then I don't think I can film it as good as I can, but you guys saw all the bolts and locations. So let me get cracking on that before it gets too late. It's a boy. All right. Oh, it's so bright. Let's get this out. And there's gonna be a couple clips over here. You're gonna take out these Phillips screws, and then you can take off this casing. This casing will separate. Just remember where this plug is. This is temperature control. And it looks like I'm gonna have to clean this out. That's really dirty. So let me take this apart and then we'll continue. Okay, so I have it completely apart. Here's your expansion valve. This is what you're gonna replace. It's gonna have two Allen keys on it. Now, after looking at this thing, I should have trusted my gut and bought a brand new one. It's only like $100 on Rock Auto. I think I might do that because these fins are so clogged and a lot of them are like bent. I tried just like scraping some of this stuff off and it's just bending all of my fins. Well, yeah, let me let me see if there's one local. If there's not, I'm gonna order it and then we'll pick back up around then. All right, so I'll talk to you guys on the next day. Hey guys, so it's day 2 of working on the Supra's AC system. So I did in fact order a new evaporator core. That is going to come in on Monday. Today is Thursday right now. So in the meantime, I'm going to be knocking out some other things on the Supra. So that way when the Evap Core comes in, I can literally just put the expansion valve in, button that up, and then we can literally just start putting a vacuum on the system and seeing if it will charge properly. So in the meantime, in the last video, I was going through putting those retrofit valves on, and only one of them fit on the low side and nothing fit on the high side. So after doing hours of research, literally trying to find the answer to this, Toyota and a few other Japanese cars, on their R12 system, on the high pressure side, they have a 3/16 inlet that will let you convert it to the bigger R134A. So I picked this up. I finally found one that was close by at O'Reilly's. They got it in the next day somehow. So this side is naturally just like smaller. Usually it's like a 3/8 size, but on some late 80s to like 90 to 91 GM cars, they have a 3/16 thread size. So I finally found one. Here is the, actually I'll just throw the item in the description below. That way you can pick one up yourself. It's like $6. I just picked that up, and I picked up the low side as well. These are actually better quality, so this is awesome. And the cool thing about it, you don't need to take out those Schrader valves in it. How this works is that you have your valve on the inside, and then on the opposite side there's another valve that pushes on the old one, so you don't need to take anything out, which is cool. It's literally just you screw in, tighten down, and then you're good to go. Let's go ahead and pop those on, and then I'm going to put on the AC belt tensioner, which goes on right down here. Gonna get that routed, gonna throw on the lines, and then if I have time, I only have a couple hours. If I have time, I'm gonna throw in the new resistor for the blower motor. So let's go ahead and start getting into this. Now, whenever you throw these on, there's a little seal on the inside. You just want to throw a little bit of your oil in there just to lubricate it. So maybe what I'll do is throw a little dot in there, like boop. Perfect. Make sure it coats the whole thing just fine. And then since mine is damaged here, I gotta make sure that this valve lines up right on it. You'll feel it push on. It'll give some resistance, and then you can literally just start tightening it. You don't need to go crazy tight, just tight enough. It's all good to go. This is a 17 millimeter, the low side is a 14. Now we can go ahead and throw in our tensioner, which I had to buy a new bolt for this thing because mine snapped off, which is awesome. If yours also snapped off, all you need is a M8 by 1.25 by 100 millimeter length, and it fits in like a glove. And the reason why I'm putting this on before I put the pulley on is because these bolts, or at least this one, won't go on with the new pulley on. And for this one down here, I'm not too sure of the bolt size. It might be this short one, or it might be one of these longer ones. I don't know. We'll find out when I start tightening it. Let me try the long one, and if that's not it, then we'll swap it out for one of those shorter ones. You know what? I'm just gonna put the short one in there because I think that's what it is. Because surely this long one doesn't go all the way back through here, right? Right? Or maybe it does. I don't know anymore. So I don't know the torque to this. I'm probably just gonna torque it down to about 20 foot-pounds if I can find my torque wrench. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. And I noticed this was a little bit crooked. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just gonna bend it out a little bit. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, now I can't really tighten this down in this state, and if I do, this slider won't be able to slide up. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to just get this like finger tight to the point where this can still like slide up and down, but I'm gonna have to set the belt tension and then tighten down the pulley. Now before I throw the belt on, since I have oil in here, it says to turn this about 10 times. You're gonna turn the clutch on the AC compressor to cycle the oil through. Cool. Here's my new Gates belt. Let's pop this thing on. And I'm glad it's actually just on the outside pulley. Would have been such a pain if it wasn't. Whoa, what? Did I get the wrong one? No. I think I got the wrong belt. Oh, that sucks. But in the meantime, I'm gonna finish routing my AC lines. I'm probably not gonna be able to get a good video of it, but I'll show how they're routed. And then it's gonna be tough to get a video on the inside to get to the resistor, but I'll show you where it's at when I'm in there. So let me go ahead and do this. And oh, by the way, for your compressor, there's this line that comes off of it. It'll plug right into here. It'll be like this blue and red dot wire. Now years might vary, but these will just, you'll see that they'll plug right in to each other. So yeah, once you're done routing all the lines and stuff, you can route it that way. And then I'm actually gonna have to reroute my battery power and ground cables, because this is going to hit the pulley and it's going to destroy that, and we don't want that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean all that stuff up, and then I'll do an update. Let me crack at this. Okay guys, I got an update on everything. I got the AC lines ran. Now, one thing I messed up on, this is strike number 2 or 3, whatever. These front bolts right here for the AC line, you'll see it right there. This bolt is too short. Even the factory one is just a little too short. And this is M8 by 1.25 by 40. And I believe the stock one is 50. So if you can get at least a 50, get that, or a 60. And if it's too long, you can just throw a few washers on it. And then here's the lines routed up here. Now, one thing that confused me, but it's actually pretty simple once you actually like look at it. So there's gonna be a top hose and a bottom hose on the condenser itself. The top hose, I'll show you where that gets routed. So here's the top hose right here. It goes right through that area where pretty much your line for your radiator overflow goes. And I just got that all over the place. Okay, so it comes through here, and it's gonna be that hose right there. It's gonna go all the way back, and it's gonna be this right connector on the compressor. And then the bottom one is just the left one. The bottom one, make sure you put it underneath the sway bar. This top one goes above the sway bar, parallel to the compressor. The bottom one is a pain to get in, especially if you have some aftermarket pipe coming through. But it'll come through right there, and it bolts up right there. And then you can see that it just follows next to the sway bar. And yeah, that's how that's routed. It took a few minutes, probably took me about 20 minutes to get all this done, just because I had that other intercooler right down there. But I'm gonna push forward. I have just a little bit of time left, and I think I can get the resistor swapped out on that blower motor. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you guys that, or just an update of how to get to it. Okay, we're back inside the car, and actually this seems pretty easy to change for the resistor. So all I did, I don't think you have to, but I just had one more bolt holding in the transmission computer, which is located right behind these wires. You'll see a 10mm bolt. So the resistor is going to be right here. You just unplug it, and then I think there's just 2 screws holding it in. No, it's just 1 screw. So you could totally do this without taking out that computer. Take that out, and then this thing should just pop out. There we go. Yep, that side of the resistor blew. And then we're gonna put our new one in, and here's our new part. Just gonna put that back in. There's like a little tab on the side that you like put it in. It's like you put it in like that, and then you push it that way. Plug this back in, and we're done. That's easy. So if you guys have this issue with your fan not blowing on high or medium or whatever, or it only blows on high and you can't get medium or low out, just change your resistor. Okay guys, I'm gonna call it there for the day. I'm gonna pick up once I get that belt in, the Evap Core. Yeah, I think that's it. That's the only 2 things I'm waiting on, which should be by Monday. I should get that stuff. We'll just pick up whenever I get that stuff back in, and that should be the final day. It's day 3, day 4. of getting the AC components sorted out on the Supra, and I just got my AC belt and my evaporator core in like 2 days early, which is awesome. So I'm gonna finish up showing you guys how to replace the expansion valve, and then everything else is just backwards installation. It's pretty straightforward from there. Just, yeah, anyway, I don't need to explain that. Putting the belt on is super easy. I'll probably just show you guys how to adjust the tension on it and stuff like that, but that's about it. Then we can finally see if everything works AC wise. So without further ado, let's get the expansion valve on that thing. Yeah, let's do it. Okay guys, here's the old evaporator, here's the new evaporator, here's the new expansion valve. Oh, look at that, it even comes with O-rings. Okay, so we still need these hoses right here. So you're gonna need a 6mm Allen key. Oh, maybe it's 5. Okay, so it's a 5mm Allen key. Take note of how this comes off. It was on there like that. We're gonna have to put everything back together on there. Huh. There we go. It's just stuck together. So this is how it is. Little O-ring here, bigger one here, and then I assume 2 bigger O-rings on that side. Cool. Let's go ahead and wipe this down. Might as well. We can make it look pretty after everything's all assembled. You just want to make sure that there's going to be no dirt that gets around the O-rings or inside of these tubes. Alright, so get your PAG oil. And then what we're going to do, we have to oil these O-rings before we assemble anything. So let's take this off. That already has O-rings on it, but this came with some new ones, so let's just replace them. We don't know if these are R134A compatible or not, so it's better safe than sorry. Let's throw this on here. And same thing with this one. Now we have our other 2 O-rings. We're just gonna drop in this oil. Gonna put it on this side. And now we can attach our new expansion valve. Probably be easier to do it like this. Okay, now we don't need to tighten this down extremely tight. It's about hand tight, so I'm gonna move it a 1/4 turn. There, that's it. And then before we put it back in the box, there's one more thing we need to do. See this temperature thing right here? We're just gonna take that out. Put this in the new one. It's about right here. There. And then now we can assemble it back in the box and then throw it back in the car. That's it on the evaporator. Pretty simple. Once you put it back together, it's literally just a reverse order of taking it all out, so you should be good to go. All right, guys. So the sun set pretty fast. It was about, I've been here for about an hour and a half. I got the evaporator core back in, and then I got the AC belt on. So I stripped out the threads on the smaller hose. I think it's like the high side for the evaporator core that comes through the engine bay. So I spent like 45 minutes trying to just like get that fitting on, so that way it can recut its threads of how it's supposed to be. So I got it on there right now. That took forever, and I hope it holds pressure in the system, because I really don't want to take that out and then have to get like a new fitting on there and everything. So that's on there. I'm happy about that. And this is the belt. The belt was a little tricky to get up on there, but as long as you loosen the bolt on that little pulley, you'll be able to adjust the screw on there. That way the pulley can come up and down. If you don't do that, you have a high chance of breaking that screw like I did. And if you're taking off your belt, loosen the nut on that pulley first and then take everything off. So I'm gonna call it there. In the next video, we will go ahead and vacuum the whole system and try to put some refrigerant in there and see if it holds and see how well it cools. So if you guys like this video and it helped you out a lot, go ahead and leave a like, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Anyways, take it easy guys and stay cool.